Hello, welcome to Jet Mathematics. I remain your host, Milton Ebiwari John. In today's class, we'll be looking at linear equations. Now, we have already established before now in our previous classes that an equation is a mathematical sentence or statement that has an equality sign. That's what an equation is. For instance, we have an equation like this, maybe 3x plus 5 is equals to 20. So this is a mathematical statement that has an equality sign. And because it has an equality sign, it is called an equation. All right. So an equation shows that two expressions have the same value. So it means that this expression on the left hand side of the equation has the same value as this. All right. So this side is called the left hand side of the equation, while this side is called the right hand side of the equation. So this is what an equation is. So there are different types of equations. We have quadratic equations and the rest of them, cubic and the rest. But in this class, we'll be looking at linear equations. So what is a linear equation? A linear equation is simply an equation in which the degree of that equation is 1. Remember, we've discussed degrees of polynomials in our class where we discussed polynomials. So a linear equation has its degree to be 1. Okay? The general formula or the general form of the linear equation is general form of linear equation is AS plus B equals to 0. So this is the general form, and then you see that the degree of this polynomial is 1. So the variable s, the power of the variable s is 1, and so that makes the degree to be 1. So this is the general form of a linear equation. So every equation that has this form is a linear equation. Like this one we have here on the board is a linear equation. So to help us solve problems of linear equation, I want to talk about inverse operation. So inverse operation are mathematical operations that have effects on other operations. So for instance, addition and subtraction are inverse operations. So likewise, multiplication and division are inverse operations. So the knowledge of inverse operation will help us to find solutions to linear equations, as we'll see in our next class. But before we end today's class, let's see how to get some inverse operation. For instance, the inverse operation of plus 2 will be minus 2. The inverse operation of minus 5 will be plus 5. Addition and subtraction are inverse operation. The inverse operation of times 5 will be divided by 5. And the inverse operation of divided by 7 will be multiplied by 7. So multiplication and multiplied by 7. So multiplication and division are inverse operation, while addition and subtraction are inverse operation. So this is where we end today's class. In our next class, we'll solve problems on linear equations. Please don't forget to like, to share, and to comment on this video. Bye.